Welcome to the Big Apple Tar Heel Sports Show, your home for everything North Carolina and New York sports. Let's kick things off on the gridiron. The Carolina Panthers took on the Seattle Seahawks this Sunday, dropping a close one 30-27 on a Sebastian Janikowski field goal as time expired. The loss is the third straight for the Panthers, who are now on the outside looking in of the playoffs with a month left in the season. The Panthers look to right the ship this Sunday against the Buccaneers. Now to the ice. The Hurricanes split their two games this weekend, winning 4-1 at home Friday against the Florida Panthers, before losing 4-1 in Brooklyn to the New York Islanders on Saturday. The Canes' next game is Tuesday against the Montreal Canadiens, who are just 2 points ahead of Carolina for the second wildcard spot in the East. Next we'll go to the hardwood, where the Charlotte Hornets dropped both of their games this weekend. The Hornets were bested in their game Friday against the Oklahoma City Thunder 113-109, and lost Sunday in a heartbreaker against the Atlanta Hawks thanks to Kent Bazemore's game-winning layup with less than 5 seconds to go. Hornets star Campbell Walker tried to steal the game back for the Buzz, but had his shot blocked as time expired. Now we'll take things up north to New York, where both football teams lost this weekend. The Giants were downed by a late field goal from Philadelphia Eagles kicker Jake Elliott. It was a tale of two halves for Big Blue, who held a 19-3 lead midway through the second quarter. The offense sputtered in the second half, however, only scoring 3 points en route to a 25-22 loss. The G-men get former Tar Heel Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears this weekend at the Meadowlands. The Jets were home this Sunday against the rival New England Patriots in a game that saw quarterbacks Tom Brady and Josh McCown set a new record for oldest quarterback matchup in NFL history at 80 years and 258 days. The final for Gang Green was 27-13. The Jets hope to have third overall pick Sam Darnold back for next week's game, but it is likely his foot injury will keep him out for a few more weeks. In between the glass, the Islanders and the Rangers had very different weekends. The Isles took home both of their games while the Rangers dropped a pair. A 4-3 overtime win against the New Jersey Devils, as well as that 4-1 victory against Carolina, have things looking good for the Islanders. While back at the Garden, the Rangers were shut out 4-0 by the Philadelphia Flyers before losing 5-3 in Washington against the defending Stanley Cup champion Capitals. The teams are now tied for the third and final playoff spot in the Metropolitan Division. On the court, the Knicks' string of luck continued while the Brooklyn Nets struggled. The Knicks defeated the Celtics, Pelicans, and Grizzlies during the extended weekend, and beating three teams currently in playoff position may be a sign of good things to come for a young and hungry Knickerbocker team. Some bad news for the Knicks, though, as there is still no timetable for return for big man Kristaps Porzingis, who is recovering from an ACL injury suffered late last season. The Nets took back-to-back losses in the Barclays Center, first to the Minnesota Timberwolves 112-102 on Friday, and then against the Philadelphia 76ers on Sunday in a game that saw former Timberwolf Jimmy Butler silence the Brooklyn crowd on a go-ahead three with less than a second to go. The Nets look to bounce back Wednesday against a Utah Jazz team that has so far underperformed this season. On the diamond, a tough season for the Mets saw a bright spot when pitcher Jacob deGrom took home the 2018 National League Cy Young Award. deGrom's 10 wins this season were the fewest ever by a pitcher to win the Cy Young. And the team, led by new general manager Brodie Van Wagenen, will look to add better bats to the lineup during the offseason in hopes of giving their pitching staff more support. In the Bronx, it was a busy week. First, Yankees Miguel Andujar and Gleyber Torres were bested by Angels pitcher and outfielder Shohei Ohtani for American League Rookie of the Year. Ohtani was the first player in nearly a century to have at least 250 plate appearances and 50 innings pitched. The last time this was done was in 1919 when Yankee legend Babe Ruth did so. The Yankees also acquired left-handed pitcher James Paxton from the Mariners earlier this week in a deal that sent number one prospect Justice Sheffield and two other prospects to Seattle. The Bombers certainly aren't done making deals on the mound this offseason, as they are expected to make a play at free agent lefty Patrick Corbin and maybe even take a shot at Dallas Keuchel. And don't count out at least the possibility of the Yankees offering contracts to star sluggers Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. Well, That's all we have this weekend for North Carolina and New York sports coming out of the Thanksgiving weekend. I'm Ryan Campbell. Thanks for listening.